Hey, good afternoon. You're welcome to your book club. We do this every Sunday. Thanks for coming along. And we've been reading through T.D. Jake's book, Under the Mic. The power of your words can change the world. That's what we've been doing here at the book club. And we're going to go into chapter 7 today. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead here and share my slides so you all can follow along with me as we run through the slides. Great. So you're welcome again. So chapter 7 begins the third part of the book, which is the promise of practice, right? So the book has divided into several parts. So let's run through that. So the first part of the book was titled Introduction, the Voice of Hope, and within chapter 1 to 3. The second part of the book is the legacy of language, and within chapter 4 to 6. So we're here going to chapter 3 of the book, and after this, we'll have 2 more parts, and we'll be done with the book. So we're going to part 3 today, which is chapter 7, 8, and 9. We'll go to chapter 7 of that today, the promise of practice, right? And so, and T.D. Jake starts this part with this quote. Well, not this quote. This part of the write-up says, "No matter how much you know about preaching or speaking in public, there's no substitute for experience." You can re-echo that over and over again. You can do all you want to do in your mind. It's just more like praying, right? The only way to know how to pray is by praying. The only way to know how to preach, to speak in public is by doing it. People have famously said that the fear of public speaking is only next to the fear of death itself. That's very true if you don't know the technique around it. And the only way you're going to know the technique about it is by doing it, right? The way to overcome the fear of public speaking is not to focus on yourself, not to focus too much on your audience, but to focus on that which you have to deliver, right? If your focus is on what you have to deliver, the fear goes away. But if your focus is anywhere else, you're going to be hindered, right? You got to know that you're there to bless the people, to make an impact. If that is your focus, fear goes away. Then it's up to you now to make sure that whatever you have to give is up to the standard that you hold yourself to, right? Not the standard of any other person, but the standard that you hold yourself to. Because you're not in competition with anybody, you're in competition with yourself. Are you doing your best? Are you putting your best foot forward? That's all you need to answer. If you do that, you're gonna be good at public speaking, right? That's just a secret to it. But the way to learn how to do it is by doing it. It's not by imagining it. It's not by talking about it. You only get better by doing it, because each one you do prepares you for the next one, right? And the T.D. Jakes here talks in the book, says, practice does indeed make perfect, even if there's always more to learn, right? Yeah, that's the popular saying, practice makes perfect. But do we ever really get perfect? Mm-mm. Perfect means you're done. There's no more room to grow, right? So we're never going to get perfect, right? So we rather say practice makes permanence, right? Practice gives you a place of a bit of stability in that which you're doing, but there's always going to be room for improvement. So I had to bring in some other definitions talking about that, right? Sarah Kay talks about practice does not make perfect, because it's nothing perfect. You're still going to keep on improving. He says practice makes permanent, right? It gives you stability in that which you're doing. Repeat the same mistake over and over, and you don't get any closer to being like Carnegie Hall, being that good, right? You're going to get good, better. You're going to get excellence, no doubt. But perfection, you won't get that in this world, because none of us is perfect, right? Vince Lombardi puts it this way: say, practice does not make perfect. Only perfect practice makes perfect. But there's no perfect practice, right? There's only an excellent practice, right? Nothing is perfect. Everything is never good enough. There's always something you can do to make it better, right? So when we practice, it's not about being perfect. It's about being good in what we do. It's about gaining excellence in what we're doing. It's about sharpening the edge of what we're doing. It's about coming to a place where you might be called an expert, a place of expertise in what we're doing. But perfection will never get it in this life. And anyone that's doing anything that has to do with art, he knows that there's nothing perfect because everything can always be done better, right? Go on to slide 5, and he says the promise of practice is the revelation of what can only be learned by doing, by the experience of growing from your mistakes and owning your triumphs, right? What practice gives to you is the ability to get better at what you are practicing, right? And that works in every area of our lives, right? I get to do a prayer meeting here Mondays to Fridays, right? Guess what? I'm getting better doing it, right? People wonder I'm able to pray in the Holy Ghost. Yeah, you get better doing it, right? The first time might be difficult, but the more and more you do it, that you get what we call fluency in that which you're doing. The same way when it comes to preaching, public talking, the more you do it, the more you gain fluency in doing it, right? You become like an expert in doing it. That's a promise that practice gives to us. All right.